The law of attraction can simply be summarized in these few words: like attracts like, and positivity attracts positive results. But the reverse is also the case. A negative mindset will also attract negative results. The concept of the law of attraction has been around for such a long time. The ancient philosopher Lao Tzu captured it in his own words: watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your action. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. In those many words, Lao Tzu explained how the law of attraction really works. To summarize, your thoughts ultimately become your destiny. This is the same principle that Napoleon Hill elaborated on in his bestseller Think and Grow Rich. Based on a suggestion from one of the most successful men in America's history, Andrew Carnegie, Napoleon Hill set out on a mission to find out the secrets behind the world's most successful individuals. In his book, he pens his findings, discussing them in great detail. One of Hill's points of discovery is that reality always mirrors imagination. Hill expatiates on the role of visualization and human imagination in the destiny of a person. This is where the phrase "think and grow rich" was born. Rhonda Byrne's book, The Secret, also sheds light on the power of the law of attraction. In the book, Byrne explains how the law of attraction works. According to her, if you can focus your attention on achieving a goal and not only believe that you can do it, but also visualize yourself doing it, then you can achieve virtually any goal that you set your mind to. But then, Byrne also explains the other side of the coin. If you focus on the things you do not want, that is, your fears and anxieties, you will ultimately draw those things into your life. But this is not just theory. There are so many celebrities and successful people who do not only believe in the law of attraction, but also practice this law to become successful in life. Listen to one of the most successful actors of all time, Jim Carrey. I would visualize having directors interested in me and people that I respected saying, "I like your work." I would visualize things coming to me that I wanted, and I had nothing at that time, but it really made me feel better. Here's the really cool part. I wrote myself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, and I gave myself 3 years. I dated it Thanksgiving 1995, and I put it in my wallet and it deteriorated and deteriorated. Then, just before Thanksgiving 1995, I found out that I was going to make $10 million on Dumb and Dumber. I know it sounds like magic, but I promise you it isn't. It's no spiritual gimmick either, but we'll come back to that later. Jim Carrey is not the only celebrity who practices the law of attraction. There's a long list of celebrities and famous people who have, at some point, spoken about utilizing this law. This includes Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jay-Z, Lady Gaga, Oprah Winfrey, Will Smith, Denzel Washington, Conor McGregor, and the list goes on. For many people, the law of attraction is just something they observe personally and objectively too. People just realize that when they think happy thoughts, good things happen to them. But when they indulge in fearful, negative thoughts, those things they're apprehensive about eventually come to pass. Again, this brings to mind the words of Lao Tzu: "Watch your thoughts, it becomes your destiny." That's a condensed version of his quote. But ultimately, that's the main thrust of his wise words. What Lao Tzu didn't know, however, is that this law of attraction has scientific backing. Research has shown that our brains respond to imagined scenarios the same way it does to real scenarios. The importance of this is that you can influence your subconscious mind through your imagination. The subconscious mind controls the way you react to your reality. When you wake up in the morning feeling demotivated, that's the effect of your subconscious mind feeding your conscious behavior based on the information it has received. The subconscious mind is powerful. You may not know it, but it is responsible for your reactions to events that happen in your life. As such, feeding our subconscious minds with our thoughts and imaginations can directly affect how we react and respond to our reality. And ultimately, this is how we impact our experiences. As you can see, there's nothing magical about this. Actually, it's all about the science of your mind. So what exactly is the law of attraction? The law of attraction is based on 3 basic principles. Number 1, like attract like. This is the most popular principle of the law of attraction. and I've explained in detail how this actually works, so I wouldn't dwell on that again. The second principle on which the law of attraction is based is that nature abhors a vacuum. What this means is that when it comes to your mind, it is never empty. Your mind is constantly processing information, and this information could come from within, in the form of your thoughts, or from the outside, in the form of things you hear, see, or read. Therefore, to make the most of the law of attraction, you need to feed your mind with the right kind of information. And most importantly, you need to believe the right things, positive things. And finally, the third principle of the law of attraction is to always perfect the present. This principle deals with how you can use the law of attraction to your advantage. You do this by always choosing to dwell on the positive side of things. There will always be negative things to focus on, and you shouldn't ignore these negative feelings or events, but you shouldn't dwell on them either. Eventually, it is what you believe that becomes your reality. This is the law of attraction.